Charlie, how are we doing this evening, sir? How do we feel? What are we, 2 or 3 days removed? Saturday didn't happen the way we wanted it to. Nothing can be done about that. But it's in our rearview mirror now. Are we relieved or is it bittersweet?
Oh, I'm relieved, but I'm sad at the same time. We
Sure.
pulled it off Friday night. We thought we was going to be able to pull it off Saturday night. The track was covered. The earlier in the day, the radar and everything looked good, but it was like it's going to be early. It's going to be early, and it just didn't happen. It didn't stop raining until 10:30, and we tried our best. That's all you can do when you do it. It's you can't you go so hard to make this happen and do whatever you got to do. It is sad, but hey, we had a heck of a turnout Friday night. Had some great pullers came down. We really appreciate everybody that came down. We had some of the best there, and I can't ask for that no better. I mean, I just wished on their part when they came and drove that far to come see us down here and come pull. We wanted them to get on the track and go.
Yeah.
Friday night was a good track. It's last class got it got a little sprinkle in, but we did make it through the pulls and get it completed. And it looked good for a little while Saturday, and then it didn't happen. So
The worst thing that can happen to a tractor pull is a cloud that refuses to leave. It's all you'd almost rather have, if at 4 o'clock just you get dumped on and then it's gone. You can usually recover from that. But if you have something that hangs around and it can't make up its mind and then it just sits there and just kind of drizzles or steady on you, that's just tough. And I want fans and everyone's to realize, that's just, that's not a reflection on anything other than good old fashioned rotten luck. And I will say this, if you want your money's worth, go back to Friday night, subscribe to Full Pull, whatever you need to do. Charlie, I have to sit here and just be honest with you. I go to a lot of pulls and we do a lot of pulling promotion, and it's our job to, it's going to be great. And we have to a lot of times act like it's going to be great. Friday night truly was great. That was one of the most enjoyable tractor pulls I have watched in a good long while. I was just blown away at the quality of the equipment, the beautiful aspect of the facility. What's your secret to putting on such a good pull? Like you said, only pull in Louisiana, and boy, you guys, you just nailed it.
I really don't have no secret. I know it's a challenge to get pullers down here. We got just a Southern hospitality. We want to run like we like to go to pulls and see. We travel, we pull. I pull a super farm. Ariane pulls the diesel truck. And we go to other pulls and we see what goes on in them, and it's kind of put something together that works. And it seems like we got it going on, and we got our faults. I'm not gonna tell you that we're perfect. I don't think if anybody tells you they're perfect, it's not. But we're always looking to improve every year. I always got something in the back of my mind we want to do. If we can do it. And like I told y'all before, we outgrew our area. I know it is. I mean, what more can I do about it? But we're working on things. We're trying to improve and trying to invest into it. But to make it better, we want to continue this. We think we got a good thing going, and we'll go from there and see.
It's got a good atmosphere. Your announcer called me on the phone today, and we got to meet each other. Robert and I had a good chit chat. Really nice dude, and we talked about really the atmosphere down there, how simultaneously it can be for a rip roar and party crowd, but it's very family friendly at the same time. And he said, we kind of do things a little different down here in Louisiana. We want to make sure that the moms and the sons and the daughters have fun, so that way the dad can be able to go back to the pool again next year. But I know I'm going on and on, folks. Go to fullpull.live if you don't already. Go back and watch this show. It's a great show. There are some unofficial results up that I did find on Mid-South's Facebook page. And let's just talk about some of these right here. You've got to be pleased with the quality of iron that showed up. You guys had some heavy hitters down there.
Definitely we did. When you get the pullers, whether it's the two-wheel drives that we had, the diesel trucks we had, the super farm class, the 4-in-1s, all these classes, the light limited, you had the best of the best. I mean, we had champions from Louisville. We had we just had them, the Texas. We had them all over, the Outlaw champion. When you put all them together into one place and everybody gets along and have a good time, you can't ask for nothing no better than that. I mean, it's really, like I always say, I bow down to all the pullers that come out pull because I really appreciate it to put on a top notch pull and they all get along and they want to beat each other out there on that dirt. And
Let,
that's what it's all about.
let's break some of these down and just talk about it, based on what you saw. So the first one that we have pulled up here is the pro stock diesel truck class. And we can see right up there at the top, Brady Ingram. He was your 2024 second place finisher at the National Farm Machinery Show, followed by Caroline Armistead. She's your 2025 champion. Now, they pulled in the super stock class, and these are pro stock trucks. You also see you've got Nathan Veg down there, or Ference Veg in the jumping jack flash. Looks like Cody Thomas drove it. George Strategas with the Hercules. He had some unfortunate breakage, but that was a tough class. What do you think of that one? What did the fans think? Was this a fun one for you to watch?
It was a fun one, and it was an exciting one because Ariana got to run her truck for the first time and had an awesome pull. But hey, the truck was hot at the end. They did a reset on the scale.
I was gonna say, she was test hook, wasn't she? She came out and she parked that thing out there in the yellow dirt, and I thought, look out, boys.
And they was a little worried about that, what was going to be following and everything. And I think we could have held it though. I think they could have held it on the track, but it is what it is. It happens. Yep. We tried to cool it down, and we just decided to let it ride. It's no big deal. But she did give them an A for effort on that she did a wonderful job. So we got a little screw a little more screws to it and turn it down a little bit and see what we got and up here and down there. And we're going to be ready to go down the track again.
That's a heck of a first pass and a lot that she's going to be able to build on. Now, I was just sitting in my armchair and I was watching from home, but it looked like there was a good natural feel for kind of how that track was talking to her. I think she's got a bright future in that. We've also – go ahead.
Yeah, last year running it, that's when we started off with a 3.0 truck running 3.6, and we wind up, it gave her get her feet wet in it and everything. So she was a little comfortable. We did a practice hook Thursday night just to get her in that truck. The clutch was a little hard, changed it around a little bit, got it there, and she was able to get off that line really, really good. So, yes.
So the next one up, do you want me to skip over this one? Do you want me to?
I guess I figured out whenever I got done putting it back together, them extra bolts and stuff I had in the box down there. I think I knew where they went at, but no, it wasn't that bad. So the biggest thing was we did work on it Saturday, got some changes done. I think we're ready for the next one, but there again, we was going to be ready for Saturday night, but didn't get a chance to get the hook on it. But I'm happy with it overall. We just, like you said, you do things and what happens on the dyno and happens on the track, sometimes two different things. But, we think we got it back where it's supposed to be.
It's the hardest pull to win. And it doesn't matter if you're from Louisiana or New Brunswick, Canada. Everybody knows this. Hardest pull to win is your hometown pull. It's a hometown curse. It just is what it is. That, those tractors at the top, those are tough runners, and those guys finish up there. So you tip your cap and you say, hey, it's a long season. And like you said, you're pleased with what's going to happen. But, you got to tip your cap to the Deere tracks and the Thunderstruck tractor. Those are tough running machines. I think, a lot of people have seen those tractors do well.
Yes. And they continue. I think they'll continue to be doing well. So.
What do you think your light limited super stock? This is a class that I don't watch that much in the Midwest. I've been watching it with some TNT and with some Mid-South. Really starting to grow on me. I watched this class in Kentucky last fall. This is a neat class, and I think these guys, they're really onto something fun here. What'd you have, 5 of them, 6 of them? Thought they put on a good show.
They do. They got a lot of high horsepower there. They're running with the light weight on them. And, a couple years ago, we ran them first, and my track likes to be stirred up a little bit for them. So we did run them second this year to make it a little bit better for them, get the track broken in for them. Because when you get all that horsepower wound up and on that hard track, wheel stands all the way down, and they get a little squirrely on them. But we got that situation worked out to where we run something first and then put them in there. And tough class. Everybody in there, I feel bad for Richard Taylor, that track got him. It got his turbo on this time down there. But it took a lot of horses. Our track down here, I contend my track crew, including myself out there pointing fingers, and my cousin out there, and my same people that's there every year. I got the same people been on that track for 8+ years, and we kind of got it down pat to where we know what's going on, and we give it hell for the pullers. They love it.
David Vandenberg is coming in with a good comment. He wants to know, how far north do you guys travel with your Case of the Reds?
Trying to think, the furthest one, just in the middle of Tennessee is about as far as we'll go. We're going to try to make some. I do want to try to go to Kentucky this year. There's some people that come down and put on pulls. I love to get up there and go pull with them. It's not an excuse. I mean, we run a dealership. We're a little limited on when we can leave and can't leave. If it's busy, got to stay there and make the money. But
Sure.
we are going to try to get away this year and make a few little longer trips and going up.
This was a fun class. I liked watching, and this is where the track started getting, freckle greasy, but it wasn't, I didn't feel that you guys pushed it past the point of no return. I thought you wrapped things up right on. It was the Jed Pettis went out there. I think he was a test hook 299.18, and I heard Dan announcing, and Dan was kind of surprised that he took that hook. And I was able to see the rain coming down on the TV screen, and I said, he's thinking that track's not going to get, it's not going to get more bite as he goes on. And that distance held for quite a while until, Patrick
Payne.
and actually I think Patrick messaged me today as well. I was able to meet, a good handful of pullers from down south. But a good run right there. So tell us about this class.
Yeah, this class down here is always an exciting class for the fans. I mean, it's the higher horsepower, hard pulling class. They love the class. We had a good run of people in it. Good mixture of where they come from and everything too. And it's just a tough class. And yeah, we always run them last. The fans like to stick around and see them and all that stuff there and see. But unfortunately, this year the track, like you said, it was a little slick, but it still was a biting track.
Yep.
I think it got a little sticky to the end there a little bit, but it was still hooking. It still was hooking. So,
and then the one that I can't wait to get to. This one blew me away. This one you guys had something special with your super modified 2-wheel drive truck class. I know that you're a super farm guy, but from a promoter standpoint, this one had to have you. You've got Donald Nelson, former outlaw, 6-time outlaw champion, Chase Richardson, your consecutive Louisville and NTPA champion, Robert Zajac, he's your all-time outlaw champion. Jesse Petro, I think I heard Dan say he holds the record for all-time wins in NTPA in that class. I mean, what a 2-wheel drive lineup. I mean, did you know all these guys were coming in, or did you see these rollers coming in and just say, your eyes just got bigger and bigger as your pits filled up?
It's kind of like you said, it was like almost a kid. You run around and told Ari, you see who just came in? You seen this champion? It was amazing to see because you never know. Last year, first year we had 2-wheel drives. We had a pretty good many showed up. Second year, I think a lot of people was waiting on parts. And, it was down a little bit compared. And this year I've been hearing, I was hearing like, we got some 2-wheel drives coming. I'm like, how many? I'm sitting there thinking, How many people is coming? And it was like, we think about 15 to 16 or so. But, but there again, we got them. But look at the list, like you said, this is the best of the best out there.
Yeah.
And they all did a great, wonderful job. We know sometimes, look, nothing against y'all guys because it takes a little longer. I mean, you got to get the starter carts out. You got to get that. But getting them out there to get them cranked up, they did a wonderful job. And to have as many as pullers in that class, they ran them through just a little bit over an hour, and that was excellent on us. I'll just be honest with you. They did a great job running that class, and it was an exciting class. The fan loved them, a lot of noise, a lot of horsepower, and they just ran down that track like, it was great to see them.
Yeah, the pace was awesome. The track got a little better as the show went on. I'm looking at it, and there's even more that I missed. That Nothing Easy About It truck. I think he's your 2022 NTPA champion. And then your finish. I mean, if you're just a promoter, you can't write a better finish. You got 3 guys finishing within less than a foot apart. If you look at them close, you got 3 guys finishing less than a foot apart, and your last hook of the night wins it by, 37 hundredths of a foot or whatever. And it just happens to be one of the most iconic pullers of all time. I mean, that's just, you couldn't have written a better story, in my opinion. That was a fun class right there.
Yes, it was. Really was.
Yep. Well, I've pushed you right at time, right at the limit. Anybody that you want to say thank you to now that the dust is settled, I'll turn the microphone over to you.
First of all, I want to thank all the pullers that came down. We had a great time. I hope y'all had a great time. We did the crawfish boil for them, jambalaya, ice cream with strawberries, and they loved all that down there. But I just want to thank every one of them for coming down there and come and pull with us, and hope y'all can make it again next year. Next time, hopefully, I hope y'all's crew enjoyed it down there. I know Jason's not on here tonight, but he did a wonderful job promoting, did a wonderful job filming and everything there too. And we're ready for next year. We're going to try some improvements and just hope the weather, hey, we can't predict that.
Nothing you can do about that. Nothing you can do about that.
The other day, somebody was asking about the dates for next year. And we was itinerarily just looking at some dates. And I said, just pick the one that's not raining on. You got to laugh about it. I mean, It is what it is, but hey. But we're going to get some dates. We're going to get ready for next year, and we're going to go from there. Try it again. That's all we can do.
I have spent many a hard-earned dollar on mega pulls that, it rains in Toma, guys. It rains in Chapel Hill. Pulls get rained out, and you just say shucks, and you go back to the camper, and you spend time with the family, and you say we'll get them next year. Charlie, you've got a special event. I can't wait to be there in person. Congratulations on what you got going on. Thanks for coming on the show.
Sounds good. We'll see y'all later. Have a good one.